everybody who's here thus far to the first live stream of our guided meditation for a healed America in several weeks. The summer will be that way. It's just kind of starting to look like that's going to be the case all summer. It's going to be hit and miss in terms of doing this live or having it pre-recorded, but mostly we'll do it live. So thanks for showing up, the few of you that are here thus far. I am a believer that what we've been doing is having an effect. Hello, Barbara and Rose and Carrie. It's clear to me that things are moving, and I know it's messy. It's extremely messy. We have nefarious forces that are trying to take over humanity. We're not having it. It reminds me a little bit of the movie The Matrix. But we are here and we are going to reclaim our right to be free citizens of Earth. Cameron's saying, did anyone watch the new South Park episode? I can't play it here, but it is hilarious. It is hilarious. I really laughed hard. So did Mary. In fact, Kathy Beale sent me that South Park episode. She texted it to me, and I was belly laughing uncontrollably because we need the humor. We need the levity. Even Shakespeare knew that. In all his tragedies, there was always a little comedic break. So this is what we're doing. Occupy Democrats showed it. Is it Occupy Democrats? Is that an organization? So, all right, let's talk about my take on things, your take on things, and how I feel like the intentions and the prayers are working. First, I want to say, as far as my off the ledge videos that I do daily, I was kind of asking for feedback because the number of views has dropped. And I will not be stopping that. I will be doing off the ledge every day, but I urge you to share it. I know, and I've heard through the years, I have heard that people get turned off by the word God, and people get turned off by the word Christ or Jesus or a Lord, and I understand that. But you know, there's a saying, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Ernest Holmes came to spirituality from a scientific standpoint. And even Einstein at the end of his life, towards the end, when he had done all these studies and come to all these theories and learned about physics and even metaphysics and quantum theory and all that, at the end of Einstein's life, he said that all he can really attribute all his discoveries to ultimately is the existence of a higher power. So I really am invested in having others understand, and a lot of you already do understand, that when we are not kind of acknowledging that there is a higher intelligence, I mean, I have a song and I'll play it for you sometime. It's called What We Don't Know. And it's about things like, you know, rainbows and beautiful canyons and beautiful sunrises and sunsets and how there, and the whole mundaneness and baseness of life, there's a mystery. And we can't really explain what that is, just like we can't explain the mystery of how we're even here. I didn't see how Jerome Powell made Trump look like a total moron today. Anyway, so let's just think about that. We can define, like even what we're doing here, when we bring in the light. We can define that in the whatever way you want to define it. It's all relevant. It's all relevant. So as far as off the ledge goes, that's what I was talking about. Anybody who shies away from it because I say spirit or Jesus or Christ or Lord, see if we can just kind of step back and understand the empowering energy that happens when we acknowledge. It's kind of like if you have a healing, a health crisis, and there's nowhere else to turn, so you turn to the higher power, the intelligence that lives within you for healing. That's what we're doing. And I know that you all know that, but I thought it bared repeating because it's so important that we know that we can use that power, and we are. So let's look at the evidence that it's working. I think the whole Epstein explosion, in a certain way, we were part of creating a scenario where MAGA just decided that Dumpy went too far, right? Yeah, so that's kind of, in a certain way, is this divine intelligence working. The universe, as far as I'm concerned, is a self-correcting system. That's why we can use a simple example of when you cut your finger. Now that intelligence knows what to do. Your brain knows what to do. Your body knows what chemicals to kick into action so that that wound will heal. So Rose is saying that she reads along with me when I read from the Science of Mind. And I just want to say, because since I'm on the topic, that this book was written by Ernest Holmes, who lived in the 1930s and 40s. He wrote this during that time. And he lived to, I think he died in like 1962 or 63. And people that went to regular church, like their Catholic church, their, Christian church, their Baptist church, their Protestant church, the Lutheran church, whatever kind of church, they would afterwards go to Ernest Holmes' church to listen to him speak. So let's integrate it. Let's integrate it and let's know that it works. You're praying for the Skydancer and Paramount merger that it fails. Yes, and South Park and what they're doing is putting some damage there. And we can intend that all these bribes fail, right? May they fail. And Columbia University, how dare they? And the different law firms that have just bent to the will of this dear leader who, it's a huge wake-up call for us, right? Oh my gosh, do they really want to put all their reverence into one of the biggest criminals in human history? I remember that Liz Cheney said at one point that, after the January 6th hearings and investigations and all that, remember that? Remember that? That was a big deal. She said that those Republicans, those MAGA Republicans she was referring to, one day would wake up and regret what they had done. Yeah, history will look down on them all. Yeah, Electra Storm. She said something, she probably said exactly those words. Let's reflect on the people that we want to be. And if you want to because we just kind of jabber for 15 minutes before we go into the guided meditation. So if you want to say what you want to stand for, and the stain will remain on them. That's what she said. That's what Liz Cheney said. And that's starting to happen. And these people like Jim Jordan, and look at Marco Rubio. Boy, does he have egg all over his face. When he was, during Obama's time, he was part of finding out about the Russian interference, the collusion, and he was on that side of the truth. And now Marco Rubio is an enemy to the United States of America. They're all enemies to the United States of America. They're enemies to humanity. So if you want to put up in your comments the kind of person that you want to be, I mean, I told you all that my intention is to be on the ballot in my city to run for this ward, city councilor of this ward. I have a lot of work to do to get there. But it makes you think about, I mean, if you do run for office, it makes you think about, even if you're just getting signatures to be on the ballot, it makes you think about what you stand for. So it'd be kind of cool if you guys just, whoever wants to, write what you want to stand for. Put it in the chat. What do you stand for? So what came to me today was bringing unity into community. And I think I'm going to go with that. Like I said, I have a lot of work to do. So Michael's saying it will take a while for America to wash out the stink and stains of what Trump has done. So we do know that, right? I mean, I think that we all know that. Can we pray for these kids? Alabama have discovered a bunker in which multiple children were held to be abused in every way imaginable. Yeah, so we, there's only so much we can handle. Yeah, so what you stand for. Mary, I stand for universal health care. Donnie, you want our country. So what do you stand for? It's a really valuable thing to think about. What do you stand for? What is your energy going to stand for? I'm going to share with you when I was with Sadhguru that he said to make a promise every day. I promise to make the world a more happy, joyous, peaceful place. You can say that every day. I say I'm committed to making the world a more happy, joyous, peaceful place. So, if we ever lose our way, that can act as our anchor or our rudder that we steer our ship. So nobody needs to feel like they don't know what to do or what they stand for. If you could declare what it is, yeah, stand for equality for all. No racism. Yeah. So let's really think about that. Because when we get strong about what we stand for, then our energy gets really strong too. And we broadcast out to really the world. We broadcast that out energetically and people pick up on it. So if you really love people and you want the world to be a more loving place and you're out there feeling that love for human beings, people will gravitate towards that. The good people, the loving people will gravitate towards that. Yeah, so that's great. That's great that, we're getting to think about that now. I urge you to run for something. It doesn't even matter if you don't get on the ballot and you don't win. It's a great exercise. It really is. It's really defining, self-defining, because you ask yourself, why am I doing this, right? And then you really have to think about it. All right, let's go into the quiet. So, stand for democracy, right? So let's make sure that you're in a comfortable place where you will not be interrupted. And I never know what's going to come through in the meditation. Let's everyone hold in our consciousness this week that this is working, that it's working. Okay, are you all good? Your pets won't be climbing all over you and, everything's going to be quiet? All right, excellent. So, just to reiterate, I'll be continuing to do Off the Ledge, and thank you for your feedback on that today. A lot of people said they really do want that to continue, so I'll continue it. And if you can share, that would be great. So let us get quiet and let's close your eyes. You can read whatever people are saying and then close your eyes. And let's begin. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Hold it and a longer breath out. And at your own pace, take a long breath in and hold it as long as you can before you exhale. And at your own pace, another long breath in and hold it as long as you're able to. So you can gauge yourself. Make the exhalation even longer than the inhalation. And feel your body beginning to settle down. And feel yourself connecting consciously with the intelligence that lives within you. And reflect on this intelligence being the intelligence that runs your body and all the different systems, the circulatory system, the skeletal system, the nervous system, the respiratory system, the lymphatic system, all the different systems in your body. Reflect on and connect with the intelligence that resides within you. All the senses, your sensory system, even your sixth sense, that innate intelligence that is within you is you. And you can imagine yourself linking up with it, no matter how you want to imagine that. Linking up. What does it feel like to link up to something? To connect? Does it feel like plugging a cord into an electrical socket? When you link up to that higher self within, that intelligence within, does it feel like linking arms with somebody? What does it feel like? Is there an inner click, an inner sense of alignment? What does it feel like to be clicked in to that higher intelligence? Whatever you come up with is perfectly fine. And affirm now, I am linked up to my higher self intelligence. And you can decide that you already know what you want to call that higher intelligence. And that's personal for you. You don't even have to use old words that you connect with religious dogma. The higher intelligence that's running your entire system. You're linked up with it and you're connected to it. It's an informing and a self-correcting system. And now take another deep breath in and hold it. And a longer breath out. And say to yourself, and you can say it out loud if you want to, I am connected. Keep the breath long and deep and slow. Pay attention to the sensation of the breath as it moves in and out. As you affirm, I am connected. I feel linked up to the intelligence within me. And begin to imagine human beings roaming the earth, feeling connected. Of course, it's not going to be all of them, but more of them maybe than ever before. People walking around feeling connected. They might not know what that is. They might not call it that. So let's see what that looks like. Happy, engaged, talking, being light, hugging, sharing, connected. Let's reflect on that as we relax our bodies. Bring your attention now to the toes. Relax your toes and the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet. Allowing that intelligence within to allow you to relax the ankles and the calves and the knees. Let go of all tension, all holding on. Relax the thighs and the buttocks and hips and lower abdomen. The tailbone moving up vertebrae by vertebrae, relaxing the entire spine, one vertebrae at a time, till you reach the base of the skull. Relax your stomach and waist area, the diaphragm that lifts your rib cage up and down. Relax your lungs and your heart. Your entire back relaxes. The neck and throat relax, and allow that relaxation to go into the shoulders and the arms and elbows. Feel the relaxation in your wrists and hands and fingers. Feel your face relaxing, all the muscles in your face and your scalp. And now say to yourself, there is great benefit when I decide to simply be present. I feel fully present, and I feel in my body. I feel connected. And really feel yourself with the long, slow breathing. Feel yourself in your body fully, not in the past, not in fight or flight, not in the future, just right here, fully integrated, your consciousness fully in your body, and just be. And let's imagine a mental screen about 10 feet out in front of you, a blank screen like a movie screen, and bringing that imagining back, seeing yourself going into the world, seeing on the screen people feeling connected. And let's even bring to mind in 2024, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz on the campaign trail, and all the very powerful and empowered and loving people that we saw. People that had hope and vision and even certainty, feeling very connected within and connected to the people around, united with a sense of hope and knowing that good is certain. And imagine people on that mental screen feeling connected to a higher power within them and around them. And now imagine that all those people that you see on the mental screen feeling connected and hopeful and uplifted and inspired, imagine that emanating from them is a golden light, like they all have auras of golden light. That's a continuous light. And you see like a golden fog energy moving up from this crowd of people that you're imagining on the screen, a gold energy filled with divine love and divine healing. And imagine a giant cloud of golden energy forming above the screen, and the picture expands to even go off the screen. There's so many people emitting this golden light, moving up like a cloud of light, and the golden light continues, and it now begins to surround this entire country. Imagine it going up into the atmosphere and now shining rays of golden light into every single corner of the United States of America. And this light has a corrective, healing energy. Feel it like a huge cloud of golden light shining down upon every single part of the United States of America. And now imagine people everywhere linking up, just like you linked up to your higher self. We're all linking up to one another. See us holding hands, linking arms. Imagine millions upon millions of people united with a common goal to overthrow the evil that has pervaded this country. And imagine all the places where that evil is existing currently. Being destroyed, the darkness being obliterated by this golden light of all of us together, linking minds as one mind, as one golden light, shining rays of light all over this country. And see those rays of light, especially in Washington, D.C., pummeling light, golden light, into the grounds of our own sacred people's house that the evil has been squatting in. This golden light in the Capitol building, golden light in the Pentagon. Remembering it's a corrective light and that it's all of us together forming this air of divine correction. And now imagine that all those who have been engaged in nefarious plans for evil, for suffering, for destruction of this country are scurrying away like cockroaches. They're abandoning their posts. All those who have been engaged in evil and lying and corruption and trafficking and trying to cover up, see them losing power in the presence of this golden divine light that emanates from all of us. They cannot continue to work for the dark side and win. They have never won. They have chosen the path of evil, and we have chosen the path of love and healing and humanitarianism, which is exponentially more powerful. Imagine that the evil ones connected to evil ones in enemy countries are scurrying away They cannot sustain their evil because we as a collective have linked up and we have rendered them null and void. Know that it is done as you bring your focus to the breathing. And now imagine this golden light energy continues as though on a time release. It just continues to pump golden light into our country, into the buildings where evil has tried to take over. Whenever you think about what's going on in this country all week long, you could make a promise to yourself, if it feels right, that you'll always think about the golden light whenever you think about what's going on. And know that a shift is occurring now, and the people are awakening. And this great power that we are, and this great divine intelligence that we are all connected with and to, is correcting this for not only the United States, but for the world. We tend to the earth. We bring this country into a sense of safety and security and sanity. Feel our country back on track. The more we feel it, the more we create the mental equivalent for it happening. And that becomes our reality. Now allow your imagination, the screen, to just fade. The power of this meditation continues. And I'll count up from 5 to 1 to bring you to an awakened state. If you'd like to continue meditating, you could do that. And I'll just end at the count of 1. 5, 4, 3, coming up to 2, feeling very connected with the entire higher vibration collective frequency in faith and in trust. And at the count of 1, you can open your eyes or continue meditating. And 1. And namaste.